Hey guys, I'm JP Fluellen, and this is the first episode of Getting Real in the Field with Khek Teh and JP Fluellen. And this is the show where we talk about technology, CRMs, follow up, all the things that you realtors hate to do. We are going to help walk you through this journey to be successful in real estate. So, why would you want to listen to us? Well, we've got Khek Teh, and he is the whatever initials you want to give himself of Fieldnotes Ai, and they're a company that has been around for what is it, like 6-7 years now?
Yeah, 6.5 years actually.
Yeah, and they've built their company based off of artificial intelligence to help you do more in the field and spend less time in front of your computer putting things in there. And they're to help you guys generate more leads, how to automate your follow up, how to get more of those golden nuggets from your database. And so, Khek, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself and why we should listen to you.
Sure. Hey JP, thanks so much. So why are we doing this, and why did we create Fieldnotes as well too? A couple of things. My passion is really in technology and marketing overall. And so one of the things that I always kind of share about my mom, who used to be a real estate agent, and I see her as a small business owner struggling with just kind of making sure that she's getting the sales pipeline going and try and grow her business. And it's not easy when you're doing it by yourself. And so that kind of got me with being a technologist myself, having gone through a couple of startups now. I thought, hey, this would be a really good area to kind of focus and help real estate agents. So really that's the genesis, and my passion is to kind of give back through technology, through my marketing experience, to be able to kind of help other agents to be able to grow their business as well.
Awesome.
How about you, JP? Talk to us a little bit about your background with the Titan team.
All right. Well, I am JP Fluellen. I have been in the real estate industry since 2006. Actually started off as a real estate investor.
Wow.
And then in 2010, I was convinced by my sister-in-law that I should go get my real estate license. And for those that understand this journey of going from a regular job to real estate, you go back and decide whether you want to go back and learn more things or not. And I hated school, and I thought, oh man, being a real estate agent, oh, it's school again and learning and doing all this stuff. And it actually wasn't too bad. The barrier of entry into real estate agency is very low, which was great for me because I had a 2.3 GPA in college. So yeah. So it was, I know. So it was really exciting for me because I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can definitely do it. So yeah, it was great. So I crammed the test. It was like 10 straight days of just like studying for finals, which I always did well studying for finals. It was the day-to-day stuff that I hated to do, and having assignments and all that kind of crap. So then I got my real estate license in 2010. And, of course, just like everyone else, you get your license and you're like, unlimited income potential, and I'm in control of my schedule. So what did I do? I did nothing for 6 months. And, that does not breed any sort of results. And so my very first sale was I helped my wife buy her building for her psychology practice at that time. And then I got hooked on it. So then after that, I was like, oh, this real estate gig actually has potential. Like you can actually make money doing this.
It's pretty fun.
And it is so fun. And I got really, really hooked on just the closings and the process and the salesmanship of it. And so as I kind of got my first deal, I was like, okay, how can I generate leads? And so my first lead gen was I convinced my broker at the time to get rentals and generate leads from converting renters into buyers. And so that was
That's
my
a good one.
first experience in lead gen, because I didn't really know anybody at the time. I'd only been in this town for 3 years, and we're in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and so one of my key passions is helping agents in small markets have uber success. So we only have right at 60,000 people in our town and 80,000 in the county. And so from a price per unit at that time, we were hovering right around 170,000 was our average price point back in 2010.
Not anymore, right?
Not anymore. Nope. That ship has
2021.
sailed, man. So I was super excited about that. So I got my first year, I did 18 deals.
Wow,
And
that's really good, man.
yeah, and I barely broke a million. It's a lot of deals, man. But it was super exciting because my goal was I wanted to make more money than my last job in my first full year. And so my last job I was making about 42,000 a year. In my first full year in real estate, when I actually like decided I was going to make money, I made 48,000. So I was pretty excited about that. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
this is actually a real career. I can actually do something with that. So since then, we've done multiple six figures over the years. And so why should you listen to me? Well, one is I'm a student of the business. And so I understand what it takes to be successful in this business. Number two, I've been a team leader for 6 years. We've sold over 400 houses in the last, since I've been a real estate agent. My average per year personally is 22 million a year for the last 2.5 years. And so, and we're talking small market. So, if I can do it, guys can blow it out of the water in your markets. Especially some of you guys have average price points of like 600,000, which is just insane. So just think about that. And then our units, we average the last 2 years, we've averaged about 150 to 170 units a year
Wow.
in our small market. So if you have a great price point, don't settle for less. You guys can do more with your time, And so my biggest mantra is always consistency over time breeds results, which is kind of what this podcast is all about, which is about digging deep into your businesses and figure out where you can dig out those golden nuggets. And with marketing, technology, and just an overall drive for success. So if you guys tune in, you're going to learn a lot. And so that's why we decided to give back with this podcast to get you guys the things that you need to have the tools. And because if you don't have the right tools, you can't fix the car. And so we're giving you the right tools so you can fix your business.
So to everyone, listen up, man. This guy's got the experience. And, I hope that we'll be through these podcasts, we'll bring something insightful for you guys each week. Our goal is to talk about how you can be successful. And, from JP's side of his experience in real estate, my experience in technology and marketing together, I think that we'll be talking about what's it like. And it's about getting real in the field. So any questions that you guys might have, feel free to kind of add to your comments, and it will help us generate more content for you guys too.
Yeah. And to keep us moving forward and to keep driving the content, as you're watching this, feel free to make a note. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, share, and make sure you smash that alert so that you can get delivered the new content each and every week. So with that, we're going to kick this off with real estate lead gen basics. So like, what is really lead gen?
Well, let's talk about that. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Sure, I can start.
Okay, go for it.
So lead gen is really any cold lead that has been generated that is from a source or a person that you did not know before. So it's creating the lead out of nowhere. So this is not like sphere of influence marketing where you have people that you've already known and you're asking for like a referral. This is like literally like, how do I generate a consistent flow of leads from a specific source?
So no friends and family, right?
No friends and family. As a matter of fact, what's funny is mo- most real estate agents hate doing deals with their family.
I just recently heard that from another agent too. She says, I'd rather go with somebody that I
I
don't.
know, I know. And it's funny because, I hear this a lot in the business is that a lot of agents don't even want to do deals with people they know because they can't be their authentic self, because they always have to act like, oh, we were just hanging out at the bar last night. So they got to be their bar friend and they can't tell them the things that they want to say. Like, dude, you can't spend money and you can't finance the furniture before you bought the house. Like, stop going out and charging everything on your credit card. It's going to jack with your
Your
debt to
finances.
income ratios and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's in, of course, and everybody knows 5 real estate agents. So that's part of the other issue too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So so it has to be somebody that you don't know, right? With lead gen,
yep. Mm-hmm.
finding leads from there. For today, let's spend a few minutes, just kind of cover what are some types of lead gen that a typical real estate agent, and then for folks listening, like over the next couple of weeks, we'll be kind of breaking it down more in detail so that we can get into the meat of things. But let's kind of maybe start today with like a couple of high level, what are some techniques, maybe talk about some free and some, paid lead gen type of lead gens that you've done that you've heard of.
Sure. So free lead gen typically would be volunteering, going to different, being part of different social networking groups. I've heard of like BNI is one of them. There's another one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like
Chamber of Commerce, the local
chamber. There's
chamber.
one called I think it's Business After Hours is also another.
There's a whole bunch out there,
yeah,
right?
Tons of them. So there's that. There's, the old school, open houses, door knocking, mailers, all of those kinds of things. Mailers is not free, but for free would be door knocking's free, essentially. Yeah. Facebook groups, things like that.
Yep. I was going to say, like, the first category, I would kind of almost say get involved within the community.
Yep.
Right.
Community
the PTs, the sports events, parent groups and so forth. That's great.
Business cards is essentially free too. I mean, you can get $29 on, Vista Print, and you have 500 business cards. So that's essentially free.
Yeah. Okay, but door knocking, that's scary, isn't it?
It is. I actually did door knocking for a year, 12 months. I started in January 1 and I ended in January of the following year. So this was in 2000. And
you actually went through a whole year of door knocking.
2002 to 2003, I did door knocking for a year. So
how was that?
It was all. I mean, it's terrifying up front. I mean, it's but after a while, you get so used to it, you get numb to it. So, but you have to really be self-motivated. Like I would literally have to be like, all right, get in that mental space because it takes so much like internal energy to like go drive to a random neighborhood and then get yourself out of the car and have your spiel, and I sold meat door to door. So I was like, oh, hey, this is JP Fluellen. I'm with Choice Meats guys, and, we've got, the best meat in the planet right now. Right now we just sold to Jimmy and Johnny and Susie right down the street. Do you know Jimmy? And they're like, oh, is that Jimmy Neutron? And, and I'm like, and they're like, yeah. They're like, well, come on in, and then we just do our little thing and close our deals, and it was a lot of fun, but not nearly as, cost effective in terms of your rate of return on your, on your time.
It's a lot of time. Yeah. You got a slam in your face or not?
No, never once.
Wow, that's good.
Surprisingly, and it's funny because even if they have a no solicitation sign on them, they don't even, usually that was there when they bought the house.
Oh, interesting. That's good to know. Good tip, actually. Good
so
tip.
If you really want to if you want it bad enough, you will door knock.
Okay.
Okay. So there's that. There's, the open houses. The problem right now is, as most people are, listening to this have ran into, is that most buyers right now are already represented by agents because there's just so many of us out there right now. I think it's like the last number I saw was like 2.3 million in the nation, real estate agents.
Yep, that sounds about
Um,
right.
so, but of course, we all know it's, a 90-10 rule in real estate. 10 of us are doing all the work. But however, doesn't mean that you can't move into the 10%. And so, as far as free, I mean, that kind of covers the basics. There's also some dialing companies out there that you can buy lists from and just do. I think that the key word right now is like circle prospecting. That's the popular word right now, where you're just.
But do you have to pay for those or not?
So those services are usually a monthly fee, and then you get the lists that are side loaded in there. I believe you can buy other lists too,
Okay,
but those cost money. But it's kind of the same idea of like door knocking. You're just calling random lists.
okay, so it's a small investment. So we talked
Small investment, yeah.
free right now as, hey, get involved with the community, door knocking as well. That takes a lot of effort and a little bit of guts as well too, right? And then also getting a list, right? You might kind of buy a list initially to get started, to kind of know where to target as well too.
Yep.
One thing I thought of, and I would love to kind of hear your thoughts also, social media. That's free,
It
right?
is free.
You could get started for free unless you need help, kind of thing, right? And that's where I come in. But talk a little bit about social media.
Yeah. So, getting involved in social media groups, finding specific groups in your area. So, or like hobbies that you're interested in. So, like a group would be like if you have a local military family group and just being in there and interacting. There's a method called 369, which is you uh, like 9 posts, you
Oh,
comment on 6 posts, and then you DM 3 posts. So you direct message the people in a post and be like, hey, you want to go have coffee and talk about what you're doing in life as you established yourself with inside of like a Facebook group or on your news feed or whatever, just interacting with that stuff because the algorithms like interaction. And so the more you do that, the more you're going to get the people that are the right people in front of your feed, especially since a lot of us adopted Facebook, back when it first came out. So we have like, 4 or 5,000 people in our, people that are following us and stuff
for sure.
right now.
That's a
So
great technique, though. I like that. I've heard about that one before, so I appreciate you bringing that up. Now, because we're running out of time, what are some paid techniques and then or lead gen techniques that you've used in the past? And
sure.
then for the folks that are joining us, one of the things that we will deep dive and break it up into subsequent podcasts as well too. So yeah, let's talk a little about some paid ones that you've tried.
So paid, I've used Smart Zip, which is supposed to be like an algorithm and it's supposed to like narrow down who are the highly more likely people based off of just data. I've used the Realtors, the Zillows, the um, market leaders, all those different ones that are paid for. I've done the Facebook ads, the YouTubes, that's all paid. And, it always comes back to you can generate a lot of names, phone numbers, and email addresses.
Yeah.
And, you can use plugins like Zapier that dump all of that information into a CRM. But the issue always comes back to just like a lot of us realtors that are super busy is how do we mine through these hundreds and hundreds of names, phone numbers, email addresses to get the ones that are motivated. So the more you pay, the more motivated they are, but sometimes it's not cost effective. So one of the things I learned over the years is that you really got to you got to measure your KPIs. So you got to know what is coming in and out of your business, how much
100% agree.
spending, get your rate of return, make sure that it's worth it, or is it just worth it putting more time in, or getting a system that actually follows up for you and then churns out and directs those hot leads back to you, because most of those Facebook ad leads are usually 6 to 13 months out. So you really have to be diligent in working your database in order to get a good flow of leads coming in through your business.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, I think that this is great. This is a great start for today. we talked about some of the free ones. From paid, you mentioned quite a few techniques, and this is what I really enjoy talking to you, JP, is like you actually, even though you're a real estate agent, you've gone through, so many different technologies and vendors out there working with in terms of like doing lead gen, right? So, and you've mentioned a few, but it boils down to also, you mentioned, I love this, tracking the metrics, being diligent and doing the follow-up and mining through that. And then also just making sure that you're spending it, you're realizing an ROI out of it so that it's cost effective for you, right? Because after all, you're managing your own business with it too. So any last thoughts? And then, before we end this podcast for today?
If you guys want to know more about what we're doing, you can go to www.fieldnotes.ai, or you can reach out to Khek. Khek, what's your best way for people to reach you?
You know what? You can kind of hit me up on Facebook on our Fieldnotes Facebook site, or you can go to fieldnotes.ai and you can kind of reach out. I will share our number is on our website, and I'll post it down below as well too.
Awesome. You can also, if you guys want to DM us, or you can comment, we can respond to your comments as you guys see this on YouTube or on Facebook, or you guys can reach out to me. I'll give you my number. You can just text me 307-772-1184, or you can just send me an email, jp@titanreteam.com. And we appreciate you guys. And thank you for watching. And we'll catch you guys all on the next episode.
Awesome. Bye, everyone.